Hailman. Mum and I caught the bus to visit Auntie Joyce on Saturday mornings. Joyce wasn't my real auntie. I just called her that out of manners. Whenever we visited, she was mending or making gowns for ballroom dancing. Liquid fabrics, shimmering falls of sequins. She'd talk with pins in the side of her mouth, and when the pins ran out, she'd fit a cigarette into a holder and light up. She let me play with her offcuts. I'd feel her glances. If looks could kill, of course they couldn't, but they could brush against the back of your neck. They could caress your cheek. The last time we went, it was winter. The cold made ringworms on my thighs, and there were huge sooty clouds overhead that crashed and sparked. We got out of the bus and hurried to Joyce's. I held Mum's hand tight. We waited on the porch, the temperature plunging between one knock and the next. There was a strange hush, as if the clouds were sucking up air, and then hail shot down. The smell of knives burst from the concrete path. The door opened and Mum pushed me inside. Hail crackled against the windows. Joyce dashed down the hall and opened the back door. Pallets popped and clumped onto the patio. I squeezed past her and crouched down to touch the magic I'd never seen before. I'd never seen snow either. "Come back," Mum called. "Let her enjoy it." Joyce crouched beside me. We were both getting wet. Her mascara smudged and a crumb dribbled down her face in a black tear. Joyce and I began squashing Hail into a mound until there was a soccer ball. "It needs a head," she said. We scooped together a smaller ball and plonked it on top. "A snowman," I squealed. "A hailman." I snapped off dandelion flowers for eyes and a geranium twig for a nose. Joyce pulled brass buttons from her pocket and poked them into the face, and the hailman smiled. I watched her hands, the same as mine, narrow, fingers slim as chopsticks. Her wrists had the same bony knob on the side. I felt queasy and leant against the wall. Joyce felt my gaze and caught it. Her pale eyes darkened. They made me think of the steel mirrors in school loos where all you can see is your shadow. She stood up and whisked down the hall. Mum tried to pull me inside, but I wouldn't leave the hailman. The popping stopped and turned into rain. The hailman began melting. Half his body sheared away and the head rolled off. Soon he was only a puddle. I picked up the brass buttons and slipped them into my pocket.